Hey everyone, my name is Chris Lambert. On this channel, we talk Kanye West, and we have new Donda 2 news, but as all things with Ye, you have to take it with a grain of salt, understanding that he can have an album fully done and be like, we're scrapping it back to the drawing board. So we're getting new info, but how relevant is the info going to be for how long? So this is a West Sub Ever post by Conscious McCarran. And it's a screen grab of a shared Instagram live between Donda's Place and Nate DAE, where they're showing off some stem player stuff, essentially, and playing some stem player music. You might remember that Donda's Place showed off the new see-through stem player recently, and Nate DAE was also seen with it. So we're going to get into a second a little bit of background there, but it says Happy is finished and very good. Get Lost has an instrumental, but the instrumental isn't great. Same with Louie Bags. Pablo is great, and he re-recorded Too Easy. He, in this case, being Ye. Ye re-recorded Too Easy, and it's not as good as version 1, which, you know, different things to different people. Some people liked the earlier version of God Breathed, while I think the album version of God Breathed is amazing and excellent and exactly where it should be. So these things will always vary, but you may remember, or a lot of you may not remember, but in 2015, there was a leaked version of All Day that was going around, and people were eating that up. Like, there was so much All Day hype. And then the actual version that got released, not the one that we saw at the British Awards, whatever that was, where Ye and everyone had the flamethrowers, that performance was amazing. So it's like this leaked version, the live performance had all this energy. And then when we finally got All Day, it's still great, but there was something just a little different than the energy that was on the leak and the energy that was in that live performance. So maybe it's something like that. He also said 5:30 is okay and very long. I like the long Kanye songs, so that is good news. But we don't know if we'll hear any of this. It might be that in 3 weeks he's scrapped half of these songs and updated the rest of them. Who knows, you know? But there's at least some momentum, and we know that Ye's always recording, always working. We don't always hear about it, but it turns out he's just in the studio all the time and is constantly working on the music, whether we hear it or not, but something is being made, and it seems like Donda 2 is still getting some emphasis and love rather than just being in the rearview mirror. The reason why they have this news, so getting into Nate DAE. So Nate DAE here, artist from Jacksonville, Florida, and he first met Ye. I was listening to this interview that he did on Random Acts, of podcast. And it's a really nice interview. Like, I enjoyed hearing all three kind of talk. We're getting some good questions. Nate has a lot of great answers. But he was saying that he first met Ye at Tiana Taylor's listening party in 2018. So that's where he got introduced to Ye, and that when Ye was getting ready to do the Black Future Month stuff in February, when he was having that brunch and inviting all these people, he said that there was somebody that he knew that texted him at 8 a.m. and was like, yo, head over to this thing. So Nate got to go, and this is him in the warehouse where Ye did the Black Future Month, and we saw him hanging out for a little bit. And then it seems that Nate got hooked up with the stem player team. So he says in this interview that he's the only rapper on the stem player team, and his role with the team is kind of being the one figuring out how to make the stem player relevant for the youth, right? How do we promote this that people will want it, will want to engage with it? So Nate's still very much in that Ye arena or just like the ecosystem of Ye. But the reason why they're showing off the stem player and the reason why Donda's Place is involved, I imagine, is that Nate DAE just being kind of like clued into the Ye community and social media in general, and knowing Donda's Place has the following that Donda's Place has, 150,000 followers on Instagram, really keyed into the Kanye community. And, you know, Donda's Place has had inside information. There's also a lot, I said this before, I'll say it again, that I think West Sub Ever maybe overreads some of the things that Donda's Place posts, and maybe Donda's Place sometimes posts things just to get the subreddit a little hyped up, but Donda's Place has had information ahead of what the rest of us have had. So people look to them for insight, for information, and I can imagine that maybe they have a similar role to Nate's, or Nate reached out to Donda's Place as part of, hey, let's hype this up. Let's get the community excited about the STEM player. Let's tease some things. So has been working with Donda's Place on maybe some of the promotion for the STEM player. And knowing that Donda's 2 is still like kind of forever tied to the STEM player since it came out with it, there's expectations that with this new version of the STEM player, we're going to get a new version of Donda, maybe some song updates, maybe some finalized versions. Who knows if it's going to be like the official final album, but it might be an updated version 6 album that's official in that way that Ye is re-releasing it with the new STEM player. But we at least are hearing that some of these songs have been updated, but will we ever hear the updated songs is an entirely different question. But Nate is currently, every time there's a rollout, there's somebody in the Ye ecosystem that starts like rising up on social media. They start sharing, giving some insights, like Theophilus London during the Donda 2 rollout, Casey during the 2020 Donda era, and then just a bunch of people like Digital Nas in 2021. Mike Dean usually has some interesting things whenever he's being held captive somewhere while recording an album. It was Consequence for Jesus is King. So there's always people that kind of emerge that the community should kind of like key in on for information, but also just because they usually are very interesting, dynamic people. There's a reason why they're in Ye's like ecosystem. So it's like Nate is somebody that you should just be following, as he's an artist that's making like cool music, connecting with other artists that you already like, and is kind of part of the community in the same way that we're part of the community. So it would be worth sending Nate some love on Instagram and Twitter, and just kind of giving a follow, not just for the Donda information, but in general, you know, just to be part of the ecosystem of this Ye universe, you know? So that's it. Like, it's interesting, but also take it with a grain of salt. But let's look ahead to more the clear STEM player release and see what happens when that actually comes out. So until next time, stay wavy and keep it loopy. Cheers.